So welcome back to the advanced PHP applications tutorial. So the plain query based application development. So we had the last time we discussed about the folder structure and all the rest of the lessons or the stuff or the topics that we're going to tackle throughout this whole tutorial. But now we're to start initializing this application with the use of NetBeans. So click File and New Project. So again, why I'm using the NetBeans? It makes sense. You need a powerful IDE to develop PHP applications, and right now the most available and the most powerful available free IDE application that we can use to develop PHP applications is NetBeans. So PHP, then click application, PHP application, click next, and we're going to create our application on the uniform server folder. Anyway, I have SAMP and I am uniform server, but the reason why I'm using uniform server is that you can easily switch on different versions of PHP. So if I'm going to stop my PHP, then you can easily my server, you can easily switch on different versions of PHP so that you can see or you can easily reflect your application on when it comes to different version compatibility. So there are a lot of functions that don't run in PHP 5.4, some are not running 5.5, only runs on 5.5, so that's the reason why I'm using this. Anyway, we're going to use the 5.4 because majority of I think most of the hosting services right now are using the PHP 5.4. So start with a uniform server. So if you have the example, you can extract, you're gonna create the folder on the htdocs, but here I'm going to create it on the www because uniform server is a WAMP based this is a WAMP based application or server emulation. So I'm going to create my PHP. Sorry for this. It should be my PHP. So version 5.4, like I said, NetBeans is one of the most powerful IDE for developing PHP applications. Click next. Then how do you want your application to be run on the local website? Do you want to be run via the remote website? So if you had an FTP server, you can build it there, and the built-in web server running a built-in web server. And we're going to use the local website. Then the project URL, my PHP localhost. Click next. We will not be utilizing any framework. Finish it. So after that, after our application be initialized, so this is the my PHP source file is here. Anyway, I'm going to close my previous projects. So yeah, we have here the my PHP alone. So the source file is index.php, and you can see it on the server on your localhost folder, my PHP, the NB project, but this is not visible to NetBeans. Then we have here the index.php stand alone. So usually this is the old PHP programming or PHP development approach that we usually have. So we have here the my contents. So my contents here. So welcome to my page. My page is etc. in the title here. But right now, what we're going to do is to have a dynamic header and have a dynamic footer and dynamic page. So index.php will no longer be of use. We're going to delete the whole thing, and right now we're going to implement the folder structure. So the asset. So we're going to create the asset, the folder asset. I'm not using plural because I used singular on most of the folders. So what's more, we're going to create the config. Next one is we're going to create the common. Next one is we're going to create the library. Okay, fast forwarded the video so that we can be quick. So you have the assets common, the asset common function config library startup UI and so on. So you also need to create the subfolders. So there you go. I created the folders: third, CSS, images, JS. So each folder, some of each folders have its subfolders. So I created this, and how about when we type the index.php? So let's type it. Yes, sorry, that now my PHP. So we have a blank content because we have the blank content here. Let's try. Yep, echo PHP. So info. Okay. So, sorry about this. Yep, I forgot that we should also include this. Forgot that I should debug here. Sorry for this. I just unchecked the 5.4. Okay. So start the Apache. There we go. Yep, it's processing the. Okay, so here is our 5.4.34. So these are the preloaded parameters, preloaded extensions, the modules, the OpenSSL, etc. So see that our application. So I guess we can start with the application initialization. So we're not here anymore. We're now in the application initialization. So the application initialization will take place on the index.php file. So it's here. So what more if we have here the third? So what if these folders should not be accessible by the users? Okay, so we need to create an htdoc to prepare the user from, or prevent the user from accessing those folders. And htAccess is where all the requests will be entertained, or how requests will be handled by the PHP server or the Apache server. Sorry, Apache. So we need to deny all. Security, number one security rule, the golden rule: always deny everything. Then you come up with allowing such kind of entries. So every folder should have this htAccess except the asset. So why? These assets will be should be accessible via the public server, because this is where the images, the styles will be placed. And if you're going to put these htAccess files in the asset, then you will not be able to have your pages be loaded or rendered fine, because there's no image, or the style sheets are not loading. So that's it. So if I'm going to access the startup folder, startup folder, so you need the permission to access the my PHP startup on this server. So that's the sense why we use the PHP, the htAccess. Sorry for this. I should also remove the htAccess inside. So like I said, we will be creating an application that is not URL based, but in the sense that we're going to use the query. So right now, so you prepare that. So that's the end of this video. So see you on the next lesson. Thanks.